Next on Community Connections, Monmouth Arts. Let's hear about the vibrant arts community in Monmouth County. Welcome to Community Connections. I'm Don Swanson, co-chair of the Long Branch Cable Television Commission, and we're delighted today to talk about something that affects Long Branch, but the rest of Monmouth County as well, and that's Monmouth Arts. And with me today I have Kim Honecker, who is the chair of the Monmouth County Arts Council, we'll call it that, the executive director of the Arts Council, Mary Eileen Fouratt, and a board member and also the director of the Center for Arts at Monmouth University, Vaune, Peck. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's get right to it and talk about what the extent of the arts is in Monmouth County, and you probably would really have perhaps the best perspective that almost anyone could have. We need to think county-wise because that seems to be very important in the things that are happening. So first of all, what's Monmouth Arts?
Monmouth Arts is an organization that represents almost 100 arts groups in the county, 2,500 creative businesses and nonprofits, and over 2,000 artists. So we really pull the arts community together and then try to connect them to the rest of the people who live and work in the county and let them know about everything, all the great things that are going on here.
Okay. So how do you do that?
We do it through grants that we give out through our local arts program, and we do that in partnership with the New Jersey State Council on the Arts, and that goes to small arts organizations, whereas a large organization like Monmouth University's arts program, they get funding directly from the state. And we do capacity building for artists and arts groups with workshops and networking and grant writing workshops, anything that can help them do the business of arts better.
Okay. We gave over $90,000 worth of grants to different arts councils and art community groups and different organizations and individuals.
And I would assume that often this is seed money that these groups that are working on a pretty limited budget really need, right?
Absolutely. They're as small as $500 for what we call mini grants, and our maximum has been $10,000.
Wow. How do you decide who you give money to?
Well, we have a we try to have a very objective process that we model it on the State Arts Council grant program as well, so that we have independent experts in the arts who come and look at all the applications. We have an application process they go through, and then they evaluate them, and then a committee from our board will look at them and make sure that it's done fairly, and then we never have enough money to give out, but we give it out as best we can to have as much impact as we can.
And I assume that the pool of money available has been diminishing?
Yes. As long as I've been there, I think the peak was about $200,000. Unfortunately, now we're down to about $90,000. But we hope to supplement that with fundraising.
We also do fundraising. We're planning a big gala for the fall. We have been lucky enough, Sony Pictures has given us several film previews where you get to come in and see a movie before it's in the theaters. And that's been a great, not only fundraiser, but building people to become members and get involved with Monmouth Arts. So we have a lot of opportunities that for art lovers, art consumers. You don't always have to just be an artiste to be involved with us, but also for, if you're just an art lover, to go on our website and see all the opportunities and all the art. What's our art? We have all sorts of things, a calendar of events of art.
Get out, get art.
Get out, get art. That's what I was trying to say. Get out, get art. That's so simple.
You can become a member of the council as well and receive the weekly newsletters which list everything that's happening in the community and other opportunities like even auditions and things like that all across the board. It's really wonderful.
So if you really want to have some sense of what's happening in the arts in Monmouth County, you can go to the website and find it. And hopefully we're putting the website on on our screen at some point here so people can look at it.
Absolutely.
But also you can be an active part of that network by joining, is that what you're saying?
Right, whether you're an artist or you just love the arts. We welcome everybody to participate, and everybody can enjoy the arts, and it doesn't matter what kind of art you like. The more the merrier.
It's a great resource to plan your weekends.
Okay.
And membership also sometimes allows discounts to events if you're a member.
Okay, that's probably something people would be interested in.
And sometimes even free tickets.
Yeah. Many times our arts groups, they might have a special that they'll provide for Monmouth Arts members, and that's always exciting when you get to say, if you're a Monmouth Arts member, you get free tickets to some great show that's taking place.
Okay, so a lot of audience development for some of the groups.
Yes, absolutely. And that's important because the more people that are exposed to the arts, the more they can find out all the great things that are happening and enjoy them and invite more people to participate.
Now, it sounds like, as well as doing the networking, helping people to know what's going on so that they can experience the arts, that there's a real economic and planning feature to what all you were doing as well. Am I correct there?
Absolutely. We do what we call creative placemaking with the MoCo Arts Corridor, which Monmouth is a big partner with.
The Monmouth Arts Corridor is an organization, a new organization under the umbrella of Monmouth County Arts Council, where I would say maybe 30 arts groups now are on board in partnership to create what they call the Arts Corridor along the train line from, where does it start?
Matawan
all the way down to Manasquan, as a beginning, a jumping off point for creating, I guess our mission is to make the Jersey Shore a cultural destination of choice. And we figured the most obvious place to start would be along the train route, because it's easy access for people to get on the train and get off and go to the Count Basie or any town. It's walking distance to their arts venues. So this is came out of Creative New Jersey, which took place here on campus, this idea of MoCo. And it's kind of become a model for a lot of the creative placemaking in other areas and towns, because it's really gelling and coming together. We're meeting again in March at the end of this month to move forward. We have a grant
from the National Endowment for the Arts
to help us market, and
New Jersey Transit's giving us $120,000 worth of pro bono marketing.
Sure. Sounds like a natural, because people talk about the Jersey Shore, but we do have the train line here where people can come from other areas easily. So the MoCo partnership is really saying, take a look at what's easily accessible, right?
Yeah,
and I think it's become more important actually since Hurricane Sandy. We started a program called Art Helps, first to help the people in hard-hit towns, dealing with the aftermath. But it's also, MoCo Arts Corridor has become more important because many of the towns need people to come back and go to their businesses and the restaurants and the boardwalks. And so we feel art helps with education, economic development, and with community building.
Okay. So let's talk about Art Helps a little bit more for just a moment. Didn't you receive a grant from Sandy Recovery?
Yes, we actually did, from the New Jersey Recovery Fund through the Community Foundation of New Jersey for $150,000. And that helped us, working with our network of arts groups along the coast and the Bay Shore. They were on the ground and they brought programs to their towns, whether it was kids that needed help with a school musical, or in Belmar, the town needed, they wanted to brighten up those concrete barriers, so they asked the Arts Council to paint them, and they're doing a mural project. So we actually partnered also with Ocean County Cultural and Heritage and Meridian's art therapy program. So we also had an art therapy component to many of these projects for the healing benefit of the arts.
So it sounds like maybe that's like turning lemons into lemonade, taking the tragedy and helping people to be more aware. Now, I understand we have a brief video that we can look at that was prepared to explain Art Helps.
Exactly.
So I think we will turn to that video now, and we'll discuss it when we come back.
Great. Art Helps began as Monmouth Art's response to Hurricane Sandy to assess how our artists and arts groups were affected and to connect them to information, resources, and grants. It quickly morphed into an effort to bring the healing power of the arts to communities that were hit by the storm. With a $150,000 grant from the New Jersey Recovery Fund, hosted by the Community Foundation of New Jersey and the Geraldine R. Dodge Foundation, Art Helps expanded into a partnership with the Ocean County Cultural and Heritage Commission and Meridian Health's Art Therapy Program. More than 20 community arts projects in film, theater, music, poetry, visual arts are taking place from Keyport to Tuckerton.
Highlands, New Jersey was extremely hard hit by Hurricane Sandy. Highlands is a small fishing village located along the Raritan Bay, and it suffered significant damage to nearly 1,200 of its 1,500 homes. The damage to the homes and businesses downtown had a ripple effect on the community beyond the norm because many of the residents worked and lived in the town.
We went to work, the engineers in our group designed something that we felt would survive almost anything. These structures here are solid concrete and rebar, and they go down 36 inches. And they weigh about 12 tons apiece. So we were given another chance. Right. Thanks to Andy Warhol and thanks to Art Helps and the Geraldine R. Dodge Foundation through the Monmouth County Arts Council.
Art inspires us and unites us. Art heals and allows us to move forward. The hurricane's devastation gave us opportunities to focus on the importance of the process of making art, not so much the end product. In essence, it's the journey of making art rather than the destination. At Monmouth Arts, we believe in Art Helps.
So we hope that taking a look at that video presentation, you get a sense of what Art Helps does, how the arts can have strong healing power. What else would you like people to take away from looking at that presentation?
I guess just how the arts are a part of every community and part of people's lives, and that it can really, you know, as we saw with the Butterfly Project in Keyport, or the 1 Minute Film Fest in Atlantic Highlands, that there's a lot of power in bringing people together and giving them a chance to process their loss, to you know, give them a chance to create something positive out of what's been a very difficult situation.
And we're still using the program also as a, you know, as a tool for, like, I'm going to be using it in my school, and we have Art Helps bracelets that, you know, for people to realize that art really, has economic and emotional ties to it. That's for you to keep, Don.
Okay, thank you. Now, how do we get an Art Helps bracelet?
We have them at Monmouth County Arts Council in the
Just
office.
go on the
website,
and we actually have an Art Helps website as well, which you can link to from our main website, and email us and we'll send you one.
Okay. So I assume you all agree that all of us have some creative impulse. and,
Absolutely.
And that's important. I think that probably our listeners would love to hear just a little bit about who you all are in talking about this. Kim, introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Kim Honecker. I used to be an art director, and I did product development, and I've been a professional artist. I also do my own artwork, and I paint. And for the last 15 years, I've been an art teacher at Manalapan High School, which is part of the Freehold Regional District. And you know, I love it. I love being with the kids and doing art, and I do all sorts of exciting projects with them. And I'll talk about that maybe a little bit more when we talk about the
we want to talk
teen
about
art.
some of the specific things at the Arts Council.
All right.
Because it's Mary Eileen.
I've been executive director at Monmouth Arts for 16 years. I actually come from a history background. I was in museum education for 17 years before that. But I love the arts. They bring so much joy to my life. I wouldn't call myself an artist. I am taking a painting class, but but it's just I love it, and I want everybody to be able to access that for their own joy and benefit.
Vaune?
My name is Vaune Peck, and I am an artist, sculptor, painter. I've been that my whole life, but I've been at Monmouth University for 21 years now. Wow. Helping grow and develop the Center for the Arts, which started out as a very small program who used to apply to the Monmouth County Arts Council. And then after a few years of their help and gaining regional impact, we then moved up to being able to apply to the State Arts Council, which is really wonderful, and that's what we try to do with a lot of the groups.
So Monmouth University would be an example of a well-established organization working with art in various ways that relates to the Arts Council, but probably does a lot of things by itself. Would it be fair to say that something like the Two River Theater would also be the same category?
Yes.
Exactly. So you work though with the Arts Council works with the larger entities as well as promoting.
Absolutely, because it's a whole big ecosystem, you know, and even the large organizations need the community ones to build audiences, and you know, the more people that are involved in the arts and people who love arts, they go to lots of different things. So whether, you know, you might be on the stage at a community theater, but then you want to come see a show here at Monmouth U or at Two River.
Okay. The arts have an education factor that we want to talk about in a minute, but I thought maybe it would be good to sort of illustrate the way all of this coordination can work together is take a look at one sample project that was done a couple of years ago. If I'm pronouncing it correctly, Carnavassai, is that how it was? What's the right?
Caravanserai.
Caravanserai, right.
That was a grant from the Doris Duke Foundation for Islamic Arts that was administered through Arts Midwest. And I wrote the grant, but then we invited the Monmouth County Arts Council to come in as a partner on the project because it was a year-long project and it had so many elements to it that, and we also saw a great opportunity for us to work together on something. And so we all attended this big event out in Minneapolis and then came and had a year of programming on campus that Mary Eileen and her staff, along with my staff, facilitated. It was amazing. We had artists from Pakistan who were some of the top artists, like their Bruce Springsteen we had here. And we went into 17 different schools with residency programs and introduced the children.
And that's something I remember I thought was really unique, to be able to take this Islamic music to school districts and help students understand something about the role of music and culture.
And we should all be as open-minded and pure as children because they just took to it like that. And these performers were parents and fathers and related to the children so easily. It was really wonderful to watch.
I think one unique event that I recall, I think it was with this project, was the drum circle.
Yes, we had a drum circle in Wilson Hall
really neat.
With Tari Khan. And we had about 150 people from all over New Jersey there with their drumming. And it was pretty powerful. It really was.
Okay. So arts plays a very important part in culture. arts carries a culture in so many cultures around the world. What's the role of arts in our schools today? And I ask you that, Kim, not only as chair of the Arts Council, but also as a teacher who's been looking at this for a long time.
Well, I think art in a kid's day, any student's day is just really important. I think it gives them that break from doing all the other reading, writing, arithmetic kind of things. And it is now a requirement. All students have to take either a whole full year, 2 semesters, or however the courses are broken up, of either a fine or performing art. So it's important. They get a lot of things out of it that I don't think, some students might not always think of themselves as artists, and especially in a high school setting, some of them have become a little bit more, let's say, not as free about it as when they're little. But you know, definitely I think it's great for them to have that outlet. Of course, we have very advanced students too who love it and take it, and then they usually participate in our teen arts. We're going to be going to Teen Arts Festival. My school, my district has been nice enough to support going to the Teen Arts Festival this year.
Okay, so let's talk about the Teen Arts Festival, which is one of the major things that the Monmouth Arts sponsors every year. Tell us more about that.
Well, as we talking right now, right? Sandy Taylor is working on the program for that and hard at work organizing 2,000 students who will come in from all over Monmouth County, and they will have dancers, they'll have musicians and drama, and of course the visual arts, and I'm missing
creative
writing,
film,
video now, and all that, and it's quite impressive to see all these kids. But the nicest thing I think for me as a teacher, and taking, you know, not only being with this hat with the Monmouth Arts, you know, Council, but coming as the teacher, is to have all these kids interconnect. I know our band leader went last year, he took the jazz band, and he was just, these are other band members that they see in competition, but now they get to sit down next to them and maybe jam with them and play with them and get to network and make more connections. And they get also have professional artists come in and critique them in a really positive way. They give just all very good positive
So there are some
feedback.
competitions, is that what you're saying?
It's not competition as much as critique. Yeah. To really see where it's not against someone else, it's sort of against yourself. Like, how are you doing what you're setting out to do? And
I think for these, they listen to me all the time, but for them to go someplace else, have their work on exhibit in a beautiful gallery that Brookdale, you know, has for us. But that is going to be, you know, to hear somebody give them some positive feedback on it is really invaluable. But those are March 19th, the 20th, and the 21st, and it's open to the public for people to come in and view the students' artwork. The opening will be the evening of March 19th. That's Wednesday, right? And there'll be an opening that evening, and you know, it's a lovely event. It's just unbelievable.
And this is a traditional event that happens probably almost every March about that time for 3 days, right?
Brookdale is nice enough to lend us their facility when they're on spring break, so it usually coincides with Brookdale's spring break.
That's great. Yeah. Yes, culturally, has this had an impact that it seems to make students who are doing art and who are interested in art, are they seeing this as an outlet that encourages them?
Oh, definitely. I really think so. I have to say, I was in Teen Arts years ago. And
okay,
when
so
I was
it's been
in high
going
school,
a long time.
It's been around a long time. Teen Arts Festival has been around a long time. Yes.
And I think it opens them up to other possibilities, so that many of the artists and the workshops that are taking place are put on by county artists and arts groups. So it opens their eyes to other places they can go to find art. You know, or if it's a theater student, they'll find about summer programs at Two River Theater or Count Basie Theater. They can find out, you know, that you can come to Monmouth and see all kinds of things. You could come see opera, you know, if you're a singer, you can see that. So it it's nice because, you know, they take advantage of, and these are kids that love the arts, the ones that come to the festival. You know, they take advantage of what's at their school, but it gives them an opportunity to see how much more there is all around. And then they get to see the Brookdale campus as well.
It's good for them to be around like-minded creative people, too. It's the best thing that could ever happen to an artist.
That's big. My students love that part of it. They really do. They really like connecting with other, and they have, there's a whole online, that's also on the website, there's a whole arts connection for them to, you know, to connect into social media.
Facebook and Twitter and
So we haven't mentioned social media. Social media is a really important element in all of this network.
We don't tell them to put their phones away. Now we say take your phones out, and Instagram, you know, here's the hashtag, and so it's a lot of fun. And it's also invigorating for the artists and the arts groups who are involved, because there's nothing like, you know, seeing young people who are so passionate about the arts.
And they're so talented.
And they walk away
really
inspired.
talented.
That's the key. They walk away inspired.
Everybody does.
Yes.
Right, yeah. I remember from looking at some of the artwork and being just blown away by the variety. But I didn't see some of the performances that are there. So hopefully this is going to be important to a lot more people than just the parents and grandparents who come.
Right.
Let's go back to the social media for a moment. Are you saying that the Arts Council is trying to keep a presence, an online presence that can help people if they're curious about what's going on this weekend or what's coming up?
Absolutely.
You can go and check it. So
like
tell us again where we
like us
find
on
it.
Facebook, Monmouth Arts. You know, find us on Twitter, because on Facebook we're always updating, you know, cool things that are happening. You can be part of the conversation. You know, we do have Instagram, and you'll be able to actually, if you can't even come to the festival, you can follow that. You know, see pictures of what's happening and the artwork. So social media has really become very important. It was critical after the hurricane, because that was the way we were communicating with people and connecting them. People who had needs, you know, like a piano teacher whose house was flooded, lost her piano, but needed to keep teaching. And we put the word out, and within like 30 minutes, we're able to get a piano for her.
So it goes back to the concept we mentioned at the very beginning, I guess, not only promoting the arts, but creating a network where people know what's going on. And it really, if you're really interested in the arts, contact the Monmouth Arts Council.
Absolutely.
We also have offered social media workshops for not just our arts groups, but other people that, you know, maybe aren't as savvy as using it, to come in and find out how they can use it as a tool.
So now we know where we can find that. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
all three of you, for helping us understand Monmouth Arts in Monmouth County.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.